Hola, en este video vamos a hablar de los mandatos informales, informal commands or do commands. And we're going to learn to make them negative, no, don't do it, and affirmative. Yes, do it. What is a command? ¿Qué es un mandato? If we are telling someone directly to do something, that's a command. For example, if Claire says to Phil, take out the trash, she's giving him a direct request. So we'll call that a mandato. And there's a special way to conjugate our verbs to address someone directly, to tell them directly what to do. Saca la basura. Saca la basura. Take out the trash. Come los vegetales. Come. The mom is telling directly to her son. La madre le dice a su hijo, come los vegetales. So this is an informal or to command, mandato informal. Hay dos tipos de mandatos. There are two types of commands in Spanish, just like there's two ways of addressing someone as you, tú y usted. We will use different commands, whether we are addressing someone as tú or usted. So for today, we're focusing on our to commands to make a direct request to someone you'd address with tú. But just so you're aware, if you're in a more formal setting or a professional setting, you would want to use usted commands. If you take Spanish 211 next semester, you'll learn to do that. And of course, we know there's a lot of resources on the internet if you don't continue on with Spanish class, but you want to learn about usted commands, I can help connect you with resources about that as well. Now let's focus on to commands or los mandatos informales. Now here's something interesting. We need to form our command differently, whether it's affirmative, afirmativo, sí, o negativo, negativo, no. So if we're directly telling someone to do something, we can consider that an affirmative command, like we saw, come tus verduras, eat your vegetables, telling him to do it. No comas dulces, don't eat candy, that would be negative. And we need to form our verb differently, whether it's affirmative or negative. Let's start with the affirmative commands, telling someone to do something. Cocinar, to cook. If we want to make it into the command, we say cocina. Beber, to drink, the command, bebe. So that must look familiar, right? It's the él, ella, usted form of the verb. If you can visualize your verb chart, it's the third person singular or the él, ella, usted form. So if you say bebe agua directly to someone, you're telling them drink water. You're giving them a direct command. So affirmative to commands, use your él, ella, usted form. So you already know how to conjugate this. You're just learning a new use for it now. How about the negative to commands? Mandatos informales negativos. Por ejemplo, no corras. No corras, don't run. Del verbo correr. Correr, to run. If you want to say don't run directly to someone, you'll say no corras. Make it a negative command. Well, for negative commands, it's a little more complicated than the affirmatives, but we're just going to learn three easy steps. I should say three there. Three easy steps. Steps 1, go to the yo form. Por ejemplo, el verbo comer, we know comer, to eat, the yo form is yo como. Step 2, remove the o. So that leaves you with this, com, right? Step 3, add the opposite ending. What do we mean by opposite ending? Well, if it's an ER verb like comer, or an IR verb, then we're going to add us. If it's an ER or IR verb, the opposite ending will be us, AS. And then what if it's an AR verb? Well, then the opposite ending would be ES. Let's see an example of an AR verb, cantar. Cantar, to sing. How would we say don't sing directly to someone? Me form a command. Step 1, yo canto. Go to the yo form. Paso 2, step 2, remove the O. Paso 3, add the opposite ending. So it's an AR verb, so we add ES. No cantes, no cantes, don't sing. Why do we do that step-by-step process to form our negative to commands? What's the point? Well, we know that a lot of verbs are special in the yo form, right? Por ejemplo, el verbo volver, to return or to go back, we know it's a stem changing verb. The O changes to UE. So if we go to the yo form, yo vuelvo, that helps us remember how this verb is special. Yo vuelvo, take off the O, and then we get the command. No vuelvas, no vuelvas, don't come back. So we go to the yo form because if there's anything special about the verb in the yo form, it's also going to be special in the negative command. So yo vuelvo, step 1, take off the O and add the opposite ending. It's an ER verb, so we add AS. No vuelvas. That's our negative command. Don't come back. No vuelvas. Another something special we need to remember, cargar, que se. Remember that when we learned preterite verbs in the yo form? We learned if the verb ends in cargar for the yo form and the preterite, it's going to end with que se. Well, here it is again. We're learning things and building on the foundation that we've already learned to keep on heading towards fluency in Spanish. So, same idea. El verbo pagar ends with gar. So if I make the negative command, I need to change that GAR to GUE. To say don't pay a lot of money, no pagues. No pagues mucho dinero. And again, this change happens, this spelling change happens because we're adding an E after this letter, la he, right? So we have to add a U so that we don't pronounce it hes. We want to say ges. Pagar, that's a hard G. No pagues. No pagues mucho dinero. Cargar, que se. It's showing up again for our negative to commands. Vamos a practicar. Let's practice with affirmative and negative commands. And we'll use some verbs we're learning in chapter 8. ¿Cómo se dice to drive? Manejar, manejar. If you said conducir, that's also a way to say to drive. But for this example, let's practice with manejar. Let's form an affirmative command and say drive with caution. We'll use our él, ella, usted form. Maneja. Maneja con cuidado. That's a to command telling someone drive with caution. Maneja con cuidado. Now let's say don't drive very quickly. So we're going to make that a negative command. Let's go step by step. First we go to the yo form. Yo manejo. Quita la O. Remove the O. Add the opposite ending. This is an AR verb, manejar. So our opposite ending, ES. That's right. No manejes. No manejes. Don't drive. No manejes muy rápidamente. What if we have a pronoun like hablar and the pronoun me the direct object pronoun would be to talk to me. Where do we put the pronoun? If it's an affirmative command, attach the pronoun right on the end of the verb. Por ejemplo, háblame en español, por favor. So we take hablar, make the command is habla. And then if we want to add a pronoun, talk to me, we just stick that pronoun right on the end of the verb, háblame. And we notice habla. Where's the stress? The emphasis. Habla. It's in this first syllable. So we add the accent mark if we attach on another syllable with the pronoun to keep that original emphasis. Háblame en español, por favor. But here's the catch. For negative commands, the pronouns go before the verb. So if I want to say, don't talk to me while I'm working, please, the pronoun, this me, is going to go before the command. No me hables. No me hables cuando estoy trabajando, por favor. No me hables. For negative commands, put the pronoun before the verb. Otro ejemplo, abrazar is to hug. Abrázame, hug me. Con un mandato afirmativo, colocamos el pronombre después del verbo, ¿sí? No me abraces, don't hug me. Con un mandato negativo, colocamos el pronombre antes del verbo. No me abraces. Cargar, abrazar ends with sar, entonces we have a spelling change that Z to a C. No me abraces for our negative to command. Otro ejemplo, el gato dice, déjame entrar, por favor. Déjame entrar. Dejar is to let, so he says, let me in or let me enter, please. Déjame entrar. Relájate. Relájate. Todo va a salir bien. Relajarse is to relax. And this is a reflexive verb. Remember those like lavarse los dientes, to brush your teeth. Despertarse, to wake up. Relajarse is a reflexive verb with a reflexive pronoun. So if we're making a command saying, relax, hey you, relax, we need to make our reflexive pronoun match with tú, right? Relájate, relájate. Todo va a salir bien. Everything's going to come out well. Relájate. What if we made this a negative command? Don't relax. No te relajes, right? This pronoun would go at the beginning before the verb if it's a negative command. No te relajes. Don't relax. Más práctica. Seguir. Seguir is to follow, to continue, to keep going. It's a stem changer, un verbo de cambio raíz. La E cambia a I. So let's say continue straight ahead, giving someone directions. Sigue. Sigue todo derecho. Negative form, mandato negativo. Don't follow me, I'm lost. Yo sigo. Quita la O. Opposite ending. It's an IR verb, so the opposite ending will be as. No me sigas. Don't follow me. No me sigas. Estoy perdida. Otro ejemplo. No sigas el láser, Carl. Don't follow the laser, Carl. Eso es lo que los humanos quieren. That's what the humans want. No sigas. Del verbo seguir. To make it affirmative, if we say follow, sigue. Otro ejemplo, pagar. Pagar. Es un verbo cargarzar. Remember cargarzar, que se, just for the negatives though. That only happens with our negative commands. Let's start with the affirmative. Let's say pay in cash, please. Paga en efectivo, por favor. Paga en efectivo, por favor. Mandato negativo. Don't pay with a credit card. Yo pago. Quita la O. Opposite ending, but remember, this one is extra special. Cargarzar que se. No pagues con tarjeta de crédito. Pagar, opposite ending is es, but we also remember gu here, right? No pagues. Cargarzar que se. No pagues con tarjeta de crédito. How about irregulars? Let's start with the irregular affirmative commands. So here are our 8 irregular affirmative commands. Los 8 mandatos informales irregulares para los afirmativos. For the negatives, they're not irregular. You can follow the same rules, the same step-by-steps that we already learned. Now, we can remember this silly phrase to help us remember the 8 irregulars. I'll read them now, and then we're going to go through one by one on the next part of the video. Vin Diesel has 10 weapons, eh? That can help us remember these 8 commands. Ben, di, sal, haz, ten, ve, pon, se. Ben, di, sal, haz, ten, ve, pon, se. Ben Diesel has 10 weapons, eh? Just something silly to help you remember. Let's break it down further. Venir, venir to come. Ven aquí, come here. Ven means to come. If you're telling someone, come, ven. Ven aquí, come here. Negativo, no vengas. No vengas a mi fiesta. Don't come to my party. Decir, decir, to say or to tell. Dime la verdad. Di es el mandato. Dime, tell me. Dime la verdad. Tell me the truth. No digas mentiras. Don't tell lies. Salir, to leave, to go out. Sal. Sal para el aeropuerto a las 8 en punto. Leave for the airport at 8 on the dot. No salgas tarde. Don't leave late. No salgas tarde. Hacer, to do, to make. Haz. Haz. Haz la tarea. Do the homework. No hagas problemas. Don't make problems. Tener, to have. Ten cuidado. We know tener cuidado is to be careful, to be cautious, or to have caution. Ten cuidado. Be careful. Ten cuidado. No tengas miedo. Don't be scared. No tengas miedo. Ir, to go. Ir, to go. Ve. El mandato, ve. Ve al gimnasio si quieres músculos como Vin Diesel. Go to the gym if you want muscles like Vin Diesel. No vayas sin mí. No vayas. Don't go without me. No vayas. Poner, to put or to set. Pon. Pon la mesa, por favor. Set the table, please. Vamos a comer. We're going to eat. No pongas las bananas en el refrigerador. Don't put the bananas in the refrigerator. No pongas. Ser, to be. Sé honesto. be honest. Notice when we use sé, the command, we put an accent mark here. Sé honesto. No seas insincero. No seas insincero. Don't be insincere. Los 8 mandatos informales y irregulares. Los afirmativos. Ven, di, sal, haz, ten, ve, ponse. Vendido, has, ten, weapons, Una canción excelente para practicar con los mandatos informales. An excellent song to practice with our informal commands se llama Dímelo de Marc Anthony. We'll hear a lot of commands in this song. I can't play it in this video, but I'll give you a link on Blackboard. Ven, ven, del verbo venir. So he says come. Ven, dímelo, dímelo, di del verbo decir. Decir is to say or to tell. So he says, come, tell me, tell it to me. So lo is like it, and me, come tell it to me. Ven, dímelo. He also says an example of a negative to command. No me dejes solo. Don't leave me alone. Dejar to leave. No me dejes solo con mi corazón. Don't leave me alone with my heart. So we know it's always great to get a song stuck in our head to help us learn what we're studying in Spanish. I recommend Dímelo de Marc Anthony. Más ejemplos. It's also fun to practice with memes, images that can help us remember new phrases we're learning as well. Ten a tus amigos cerca y a tus enemigos todavía más cerca. Ten, el verbo tener. Have your friends close and your enemies even closer. What if we made that a negative command? No tengas, no tengas. Interesante. Dime más cosas bonitas sobre mí. Dime, del verbo decir. Tell me, dime. Tell me more nice things about me. Dime más cosas bonitas sobre mí. What if we made it a negative command? Don't tell me. No me digas. No me digas. Don't tell me. No veas la pelota. Sé la pelota. No veas, del verbo ver, to see. No veas la pelota, don't see the ball. Sé la pelota, del verbo ser, be the ball. Don't see the ball, be the ball. And just to practice the affirmative commands for ver would be ve. And how about the negative command for ser? No seas. Sal conmigo. This is a pun because salt in Spanish is sal, but salir also means to go out. So he's saying, go out with me. Sal conmigo. To make it negative, well, it's a jogo verb, right? So we would say no salgas. No salgas. That could mean don't leave, for example. No salgas. Let's look at some irregular to commands in the negative form. Dar is to give. To make the negative command, no des. No des. Estar, no estés. Ir, no vayas. Saber, no sepas. Y ser, no seas. So we've seen these two already, right? But dar, no des. Estar, no estés. Saber, no sepas. Por ejemplo, don't be really stressed. No estés muy estresado. Todo va a salir bien. Relájate. Dar, to give. Don't give water to the gremlin. No le des agua al duende. No le des agua al duende. That's all for this video lesson on informal commands or two commands, los mandatos informales. Let me know if you'd have any questions or would like to meet to practice with these. Hasta luego!